Thank you for watching an episode of Straight Up Gay Talk. If you're a straight man or a straight woman, if you're a trans man or a trans woman, whoever you are, and you want your voice to be heard, please scan the QR code on your screen and let's have a conversation. I look forward to hearing from you. I love you all. The nation has been in mourning for almost 2 weeks regarding Charlie Kirk. And now that we've had a chance to kind of gather our thoughts, how do you feel and what's your thought process like today?
I think the cancel culture on the left was a form of bullying. It had a lot of overreach, a lot of overcorrection, a lot of, um, and we sort of have to examine that and digest it from an intellectual place and, and sort of point out that it was really extreme for people to lose their livelihoods over something they said. Maybe they said it by mistake, or maybe and we all grow. We all have, I have different points of view now that are different than 20 or 25 years ago. And we all have that. And I've been given the grace, to change my points of view. And I've been given the grace of being able to dialogue with people and get to know people, so that I had the opportunity to hear a different side, hear a different point of view. I know I've been going on a long time talking, but different points of view, and and Charlie should have been given that grace.
I couldn't agree more. And
Yeah.
honestly, I can't say it better myself. So just to jump on that and give you my perspective on it is to the liberals that are on social media that are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, that behavior is wrong and should be shamed. So
Mhm.
to those liberals that are on social media that are mocking his death, making jokes, you're an embarrassment to yourself and the entire liberal community. It needs to stop. You're a liberal and want to make jokes about the death of Charlie Kirk, you will lose your job. This is already happening, folks. Even in my circle, a friend of mine posted about Charlie Kirk on social media. She was fired. This just happened. Oh, this is only happening to those employees on the lower totem pole of the business hierarchy. Wrong. She was on the executive level, folks. So it's not just happening to those employees that are subordinates, okay? It's happening on the high end of the hierarchy. Bernie Sanders was right. People want a political revolution, but the political revolution is no longer confined to picketing or protesting without violence. No, no, no. The political revolution that has begun is bloody and has taken the lives of many already. The Civil War has begun, folks, and the extremists on the left, like Antifa, and the extremists on the right, like the militia groups Pride Boys and the Three Percenters, are partially to blame for this. I know I'm ranting, but let's continue. In the last few years, we've seen the plot to kill Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. 13 domestic terrorists tried to kidnap her. That's just number one. Number two, the storming of the Capitol and pipe bombs left at the RNC and DNC. Number three, the break in to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and the brutal attack on her husband, Paul Pelosi. 42-year-old David DePape attacked Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Paul was 82 years old at the time, and he suffered significant head trauma. Number four, multiple assassination attempts against Trump. Okay, he was shot in the ear, grazed his neck, and thereafter, a couple of more assassination attempts occurred. Number five, the assassination of Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the shooting of Democratic State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Number six, Luigi Mangioni's assassination of Brian Thompson. Okay, And now the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So let's break it down. Let's zoom out a little bit. I know I'm ranting. Let's zoom out for a second and listen to this. Trump and Charlie Kirk were on the right. John Hoffman and his wife, and Melissa Hortman and her husband, and Nancy Pelosi and her husband were on the left. So political violence in America isn't confined to only the right or the left. It's becoming more contagious. It's spreading across the nation. And all first strike offensive gun violence deserves public shaming and ridicule. Let me repeat that. All first strike offensive gun violence deserves public shaming and ridicule. The basic foundation of a free society is the ability to participate in it without fear of violence. Political violence is always an attack against us all, whether you're right, whether you're on the right, or whether you're on the left, it affects us all. So, and you have to be blind not to see it.
If liberals want to say they're the party of, intellect and higher thinking and things like that, then like, okay, we'll start doing that. Start thinking a little higher, thinking a little, implementing your education, instead of, canceling people or enacting violence against people.
I mean,
So
the rational people like you and me, we're in agreement that violence isn't the answer. Okay, so we're not the problem. Okay, so it has. I mean, our voices and our perception has to be accepted by those that want to do violence, right? And some of them we're just not going to reach. Some of them, are open-minded enough to take our views into consideration and to change their mind. Okay, maybe I'm not going to be violent. This is a stupid idea. Okay, I'm risking jail time. I'm risking my family. I have a lot to lose. I'm not going to I'm not going to do violence. To those people, that should be commended and that should be rewarded by positive praise, right? But to those that are on the far, far, far right on both sides. I mean, it's both sides that are committing violence, right? So it's like on the left, it's organizations like Antifa, okay? They throw bricks, throw these Molotov cocktail type stuff, and they get everybody riled up doing their form of violence. But on the right are extremists like, the people that attacked the Capitol on January 6th, the Proud Boys, the Three Percenters, all right? So those guys, they don't their style of violence, it's not throwing bricks. It's not Molotov cocktails. Those guys have guns.
and I think a lot of that is the fault of their current leadership, of our current leadership, because it could be a time where we could, come together and say, this is very devastatingly sad what's just happened to Charlie. And it's time for us to stop doing this and come together. But we don't have anyone in leadership who's, doing that and taking those steps.
It's only been a year since Trump has been president, and it hasn't even been a year, okay? So it's like we have 3 more years of this. And the left is scared that Trump might declare martial law before he ends his term. So there are all these things that are kind of trickling on the left, trickling on the right, fear on both sides, infighting both on the left side, infighting both on the right side. But we're just gonna have to find common ground and yeah, we're gonna have to live together, whether we like it or not, whether you're in California or whether you're in a red state like Tennessee, where you're from. So it doesn't matter. I mean, California is becoming more and more right wing, in my opinion. So
Hmm.
I mean, it's. it's going to be a challenge, but there's nothing. I think I'm more optimistic about it because I mean I have to be. right? Like if you're not optimistic about it, then you're gonna fall into nihilism, and that's not a good idea either. We have to move forward, move together, and reach voices that are on the right. We have to get into their heads. We have to win hearts and minds on the right.
Mhm.
And I think we can do it, but we just have to do it together. You know, you and me can do it because we're already sharing our voices today, and I hope others are sharing the same sentiments that we are.
And it's not easy to be optimistic about, negativity is intoxicating on many levels, in many different facets. So, yeah, it takes, you have to have strong will and fortitude to carry the light and stay optimistic. But it takes
I
strength.
really think that optimism is contagious, and I couldn't agree with you more. And I
Mm.
think that's a good note to end on. Thank you for listening, everyone. Welcome to Straight Up Gay Talk. Thank you for watching an episode of Straight Up Gay Talk. If you're a straight man or a straight woman, if you're a trans man or a trans woman, whoever you are, and you want your voice to be heard, please scan the QR code on your screen and let's have a conversation. I look forward to hearing from you. I love you all. If you like, comment, and subscribe. My pet giraffe, who has pancreatic cancer and has had one stroke and two heart attacks, will survive.
So long, gay boys!